Welcome to SL Chennai Speaks Out. It's a show where all of us Chennaites get a chance to voice our thoughts and our opinions about various things. This week we're going to look at violence as represented in the media. And we have with us here Mr. N. Ram, he's editor-in-chief of The Hindu. And our other panelist here today is, of course, the very well-known film director, Vasant. Now, Ram, let's start with you. Over the years, have you seen violence in the media being handled any differently than when you started as a journalist?
Yes. We used to be quite free and uninhibited about handling it. Some gory pictures have been published, and I'm embarrassed to say I myself was party to it. Today I wouldn't do it. A good example would be the pictures of the assassination of Rajiv Gandhi. You saw some of those pictures which would be seen as intolerable today in print or on television for that matter. So I think it's changed because people feel a horror of depicting violence, at least in the print medium.
Right.
And I'm sure on television as well.
Right. Let's ask about film, Vasant, because that's an issue that a lot of us talk about these days. What do you think?
It's definitely, it exists, but when you talk about media violence, I think it's no more two words. It's inseparable, and because it looks like that for me, because the society is such that we have really come across a lot of changes and we see a lot of things happening. We have to blame whom to be blamed, whether the society be blamed for the media or media to be blamed for the society.
But over the years, in your film career, as long as you've been directing movies, have you done things differently? Have you eased up a bit, or has it got even worse?
I used to say I only break hearts, so I'm a non-violence person. I don't even have fights in my films. But when I'm looking into the films over the period, definitely it has gone overboard, I'll say that. But the filmmakers, as filmmakers, we have the reason that we have to reflect the society. Okay. It's to be realistic, one has to reflect that.
Right. Let's ask our audience what they actually think about violence. Let's start first with the depiction of violence in the newspapers, the way Ram was talking about just now. Can we have somebody from that side? Okay.
I think the newspaper, it's a softer version of the violence that is depicted, because those who read the newspaper are fewer in number compared to the number of people who will sit and watch a TV, right from a year-old child to the great-grandfather who will sit and watch the shows on the TV right from the beginning. But newspaper, only those who can read will read. So to that extent, there's a difference.
But you don't have to necessarily read, because you can just see a gory picture, and is that okay?
But the point is, in media and television, violence, it's more impressionable. Like, for example, kids watch and they're at this impressionable age and they kind of get misled. But that's not the case with newspaper, because to read any newspaper you need certain level of understanding, and with that understanding comes some amount of decision making skill and maturity.
What about from this side? Please, ma'am, go ahead.
Actually, the brutals among students and a vicious incident happened last November. It was more than 60 persons were arrested, and few were remanded in IPC 307. It was in Dr. Ambedkar. Hope you understand what I'm talking about. Yes. And in which transition of commissioner takes place, and actually finalizes like lawmakers should not be the law breakers.
Right, but are you in fact okay with the fact that there were pictures of what happened? Are you all right with that if Ram here puts it in his newspaper in the morning?
Oh, I'm all for depicting violence as much as it can be in all the media. I mean, I may not be sharing the popular opinion around here. The point is this: the individual's maturity is what counts. In just about everything in life, there must be a choice available. It's up to the individual whether you want to take it, not take it, you want to be influenced by it, not influenced by it. And there's a minuscule person who are going to be influenced by it, so to say. And when Ram just mentioned, I agree with him that we used to have some very graphic pictures earlier which has been toned down. I am not for it.
Violence need not be portrayed by gory pictures. Recently, there's a Hindu brought out this, during Gujarat riots, many photos where there are people burning and all that. They showed one face, one fellow pleading with emotions. See, that clicked more. In fact, that person was repatriated. So pictures need not be gory. It conveys the picture.
I agree with that. The indirect approach sometimes is very effective, especially if it's humanized. But you can't always do it because, as Vasant makes a very good point, and I also agree with what you say, newspapers are a little different. It's a different platform. But the point he makes that in society it's growing. If you are to reflect that faithfully or accurately, you got to open up. But in the process, I think you can be more discriminating about what kind of pictures. Now, one example, Jennifer. Unfortunately, in television, you don't have that luxury. But I can change a color picture into black and white, and often
make it dramatic.
To make it less dramatic, to make it less offensive. This we learned from a UK journalist, a photo editor from the Financial Times, because they had those that Madrid blast, which is very gory, and the pictures. Some newspapers publish the color pictures in black and white. Unfortunately, you can't do it on television.
Right.
Or can you?